Hi, Scott Bruder here. So I've opened up a couple of these in the past, but I thought, hey, maybe I should take some time and do a video. This here is a 5G gateway. This is from Rogers in Canada. It's a Nokia FastMile 5G Gateway 12. This is what Rogers sends out for its 5G internet. They do great. They even stick their SIM card on the side. Notice I've blacked it all out. Don't want anyone knowing those numbers. You can get it in a form with a router with some hardwired connections, or you can get like a hotspot model. It puts out the same speed. It has very similar performance. The only difference is this device will give you like an Ethernet wire and failover, whereas the other one just acts like a hotspot where all of your devices can connect to it wirelessly. That's great if you're in a car or you've got an office with a bunch of like laptops that need connections. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up and I'm going to put in the SIM card and you guys can watch. First thing we'll do is unpack it. Inside, floating around at the top, got this little white cardboard card. It's a little booklet. Inside you have the safety and regulations. We'll zoom that in so you guys can have it. There you go. And you have a fold-out quick start guide. Quick start guide for the FastMile 5G. And it takes you through all of the steps. It tells you how to get an app, how to insert the SIM card, how to power it on, how to check for status lights, and where on the unit to check to get the Wi-Fi information so that you can connect your items. And of course, it also has in the very last section what IP address you can use to get into the device. I know this guide is available online because I've looked at the PDF before I had gotten my first one of these. So look it up. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, leave them down below. I tuck all that back together. Because this is going to go to one of my clients, I might as well give them the box and the rest of the stuff inside. Okay, next thing we've got is this spacer. That spacer kind of just holds the router in place so it doesn't bounce around a lot. There's the router. We'll take a look at it in a second. And we have a little square of cardboard that acts as the packaging for the bottom. Keeps it from getting damaged. Nothing else there at the sides. So I'm going to put that fake bottom back in and the little booklet. And I'm going to take this box that was facing this way to hold everything snug. I'm going to flip it this way so that I can put the router back in on top of it. I don't plan on shipping this to my client, so I have no problems if it moves around a little bit because I'm going to be carrying it by hand. We also have our little accessory box. This one here is going to have some more exciting stuff than what we've already seen. And that exciting is your power supply. Of course, it's nice that it's white. It matches it. The unit itself is rated at 12 volts, 3 amps. Bring that right in. 12 volts, 3 amps. And it's got a very similar size barrel connector to a lot of modems and routers. But always make sure that when you plug things in, your voltages are correct. You don't want to overvolt or undervolt any equipment. Okay, I'm going to set that off to the side and we'll take a look at the router itself. So, to keep it from getting scratched up in transit, they put a little paper shroud around it. I'm going to see if I can slide this off. Normally I just tear it off, but because this is a video, I think I want to, yeah, it just slides off. And I'll put it back on before I put it in the box just to make sure that it looks pretty for my client when they get it. So we've got the newer Nokia logo on the front. We've got a little power indicator light. That changes depending on what's going on. On the bottom, I've blacked them all out, but you have your regulatory information, serial number, model number, the Wi-Fi default name and password. You have a little cover that hides the SIM card slot. And that SIM card slot that's in there is spring-loaded. So as you know, click it in, click it out. If you've ever had like a camera with an SD card, it kind of goes the same way. And then once the card's in, you can close it up. And over on the other side, you've got your reset pin. We'll just see if we can get some light on that for you. Look at that. Nothing else on the sides or the top. On the back, you have yourself a power switch on and off. You have your power connector. You have a USB port. I'll have to read into what that does. I've never used it up until this point, but you know, put it in the comments if you know what it's for. Someone's going to say you can use it to charge your phone. You probably could, but it would probably be rather slow. I would assume that if this device is used via a USB cable to your computer or your phone, you can hardwire the modem to your device using USB. If we look a little further down, we have a LAN 1, LAN 2, and a WAN LAN. So these first two ports are always inside the network. They will always get a LAN address. This blue port here is a multi-use port. It can function as another LAN port, so you can end up with 3 LAN network connections. Or it can act as a WAN port. So what you would do is you could have another modem with a signal connect into this. This would then be your router for your internal network. Use it to make your Wi-Fi. Have 2 LAN ports that could go and feed switches. And if for some odd reason you have a problem with your main connection, this device will notice that other connection go down, and it'll go into like a failover mode, and it will start using the cellular data. That way, if you have a much faster hardline connection, this will give you extra safety without having to rely on it. And I haven't used the option, nor have I looked at the firmware. Maybe I'll make another video digging through all the options. But a lot of these you can do like load balancing, where you can use the cellular with the hardline connection to get faster speeds. I don't know if that's a part of this firmware, but like I said, we can take a look at it in the future. And the last item here is a WPS button. This is your wireless, is it protected setup? Wireless, what's the P, everybody? All I know, maybe I know a lot of things, but the one thing I'm sure of is pushing this button is going to initiate a countdown and a process inside this unit whereby it will start broadcasting that it's open to allow devices to connect to it. What you would then do on your endpoint device, your cell phone, your tablets, your laptops, your computers with Wi-Fi, you would be able to go and push WPS on their end as well. A lot of times it's in software. There's no physical button on devices. And the two of them will synchronize and share the security information needed so that those devices can connect to this without needing to know that password or username or SSID or passkey to make them connect. Now, I recommend in a lot of cases turning this off. I know it was about 10 or 15 years ago, but there was an exploit where a lot of these WPS systems, the keys that they used were known, so you could actually connect to routers that without physically pushing the button on the router itself. It was a security vulnerability. I know Rogers had to deal with it, but they went and eventually replaced all those modems anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at this micro SIM slot. It is not a, I believe it's they call it the nano SIM. Is that what it is? And I'll show you exactly what I mean right now. So close up my box. So on your SIM cards that you get, you have the SIM cards nested so that you can break off the plastic to your desired size. So you have your regular size SIM, which is the full encasement with red. There is the micro, which is just the gray section with the white in the middle. And then you have your nano, which is just the white section by itself. Looking at that hole, I'm pretty sure it's the nano SIM. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull this card off, and I'm going to just press the nano SIM section out of the center because I don't need all of it. And what I'm going to do with the rest of that is I'm going to keep it stuck to the box or even toss it inside the box just in case you ever need to expand that to something larger. I don't know what uses micro SIMs or regular size SIM cards anymore, but hey, keep it. Spare parts. You can slide it in. I'm pretty sure it's going to be, well, you can look in the hole. I think it's the pins are going to touch the top. Let me just zoom in and we'll hey, I can get right in there. Nice. So looking in that hole, you can see that the pins look like they're at the top. So I'm going to take this and I'll look at the little picture. The little picture shows that I'm going to put the kind of skewed edge, scarred edge, the non-right angled edge there. Put it over top of that hole. And push it in, and you should have a little spring-loaded click. Can you guys hear that? I'll just eject it and put it back in again. Out. In. There we go. And we can close the flap. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just plug this in, see if it powers up, see if I get a blue light, and if I do, great. And if I don't, then I'll troubleshoot some more. So I'm going to just peel off the paper that's holding the power cable together. I like that a lot of this packaging is all recyclable. There's no plastic from what we've run into yet. It's all been paper. Okay, and then I'm going to push the power button on the back, strip aside the power plug, and we got a blue light, and the process is going to go from there. If you have any comments or questions, let me know, and thanks for watching.